King shoots one towards left field. That's down, a base hit. Back-to-back-to-back hits to lead off the second for the Saints, and it produces a run. Zach Light crosses home plate, and Arroyo Seco's on the board, 3-1.
So runners at the corners and one out for Buckley, who swings at the first pitch from Toth and bounces it to short. 6-4-3, and a great pick on the back end from Light for a double play. Toth induces the ground ball and gives up a run in the first, but could have been much worse. After one here in Compton, it's 1-0 Barons.
Position. And another one at first base. Can Huang buckle down? Fly ball golf to right field. It is back, it is at the track, and it is gone. 3-run shot for Tyson Reese. He blows it open in the ninth with his 4th home run of the season. And from down 4-0, the Oaks lead the Saints 8-4.
Ground ball right side, that's a base hit off the bat of Wynn. In to score is Flores. It's 6-4, a 6-run bottom of the 8th for the Saints to keep their season alive. Caden Chavez has faced the minimum through 2 as he's got a 1-0 lead, and we'll see the bottom of the Saints order. Asperger, then Toth the pitcher, and Robinette to round out the Saints lineup. Then back to the top and Braden Flores. Saints with 1 hit, the Panarisi double, but he was immediately picked off at second base when Freer came to the plate. Swinging at the first pitch and popping it up is Asperger behind home plate and fouling out of play. Feels like both these teams have swung at the first pitch a lot so far tonight. The Barons with 4 hits, the Saints with 1, but only 1-0 in favor of Compton.
And Arroyo Seco's done a really good job this season at adjusting how they approach these pitchers. A lot of times we'll see them be more patient at the plate at the start of the game, then start to attack a little bit more. But today, like you said, attacking more first pitches. We'll see how that fares throughout this game. Obviously, Chavez been able to lock it down pretty good. But as the game goes on, Arroyo Seco, this offense is fantastic. You know, 3rd in the CCL in batting average, 3rd in runs per game. So, I mean, they can score runs. It's just about keeping Academy off the board tonight.
1-1 on Asperger, and the breaking ball missed, ball 2. Caden Chavez, also a 5-pitch guy, but the 4-seam and the slider he uses 80% of the time. Asperger hits it deep to right field and gone. Home run, Sean Asperger. Deep out to right field and over the wall and over the head of Mertz. And a solo home run in the 3rd for Sean Asperger has tied the game at 1.
What a shot. I mean, that got out in a hurry, a line drive right over the wall. That's exactly what Asperger needed to do. This season, 167 hitter. He's struck out in each of the last 8 games that the Saints have played. He's been trying to find it, trying to figure out his swing, and right there, gets the ball to drive and smokes it. Exactly what you need from a guy like Sean Asperger. Love to see it.
2 hits so far in this one for the Saints, both of them coming for extra bases, and Sean Asperger's home run has tied the game at 1. Now here's Wyatt Toth, the starting pitcher on the mound for the Saints, trying to help his own cause. Chavez's first pitch is in there for strike 1. Well, a couple of starts ago, Toth hit a home run of his own. That, at the time, and still is now, the first time that a Saints starting pitcher has hit a home run in more than 3 years. Tapped, foul, and it's 0-2. Toth has been good so far at the plate this year, but typically doesn't hit that much when he doesn't pitch. But when he does pitch, they often get his bat in the lineup because it really helps him out with the roster flexibility. 0-2, grounded back along the first base line. Chavez barehands it, a couple of bobbles, and still gets the play. Really nice play from the Barons lefty, Caden Chavez. Bobbled the ball, but recovered and flips to first for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, geez, I thought he was going to drop that ball at one point, but really nice play. Good concentration. You don't see a lot of pitchers have good fielding skills like that, but good hand-eye right there from Chavez.
Juggled the ball about 4 times and still had the presence of mind to flip to first base and retire his counterpart, Wyatt Toth, for out number 1 here in the third. So here's Robinette now with 1 out and nobody on. Swings at Chavez's first pitch and bounds it foul down the third baseline.
Kind of feels like the mentality was to attack early today from head coach Aaron Milam, because Robinette's a guy that normally likes to stay patient at the plate. He's drawn the most walks on the Saints this season, likes to work the count a little bit, but attacks pitch number 1 right there. So definitely a change of an approach for the entire team today.
Robinette scored twice yesterday. Scored once in the third, and then scored the final run of the game on an RBI double from Braden Flores, who's on deck. 1-1. Crunched foul, and it's 1-2. Barons just finished up a quick 2-game road trip. They won at Orange County and then fell to Santa Barbara. Barons have played a lot of really close games this year. In their 14 games, 9 of them have been within 2 runs. And that one's in there for strike 3. Chavez with another strikeout, his 3rd of the day, as he gets Robinette looking for the 2nd out of the 3rd. So that'll bring up Braden Flores, who is here in the leadoff spot. In a season where Aaron Milam has really switched up not just who's in the lineup, but the order in which they're hitting as well. Flores has now been consistently penciled into the leadoff spot pretty much every day. Swings at the first pitch and pops it up. First base side, Del Villar over and out of room. Flores DH'd yesterday. He's back there at second base today. Has primarily played second base and third base, but can play shortstop as well. And yesterday, of course, the designated hitter for the Saints. Struck out to begin the game in the first inning, but a 10-pitch at bat. Seems like Flores gives you a good plate appearance every time he goes up there. Fouled back, and it's 0-2. Here at the MLB Urban Youth Academy, known for developing players. A lot of MLB talent has come through here. Aaron Hicks, Trace Thompson, Kyle Higashioka, to name a few. All these guys potentially looking to become the next. Flores lays off, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, and I have to mention J.P. Crawford as a Seattle guy. Fantastic ball player.
1-2 pitch to Flores is tapped foul, and we'll do it again. Braden not just up there in terms of the RBIs, but he has been really good in every aspect offensively. Averages up to 370 on the year before his first at-bat, and a 477 on-base percentage coming into this one. On a 1-2, Flores crunches it up the middle, a base hit. Braden Flores keeps on hitting, and a 2-out single here in the third has him at first base ahead of Panarisi.
Yeah, and I mean, we don't see Braden a lot from that right side, of course, a strikeout in the first inning, but I mean, he's more of a line drive hitter from that right side. He's not going to really belt the ball. He's not going to put it in the air. He doesn't really drop that back shoulder, just hands to the ball and rips it. And I mean, textbook right there, back up the middle. And now a doubles threat and Carson Panarisi. So Saints not out of this third inning quite yet.
Well, he doubled his last time up, but was immediately picked off. Can he make up for it here? Flies the first one to right field, but playable for Chip Mertz. Back a couple of steps, stumbling, but he's got it for out number 3 to end the inning. But not before Sean Asperger leading off the inning, a solo home run over the right field wall, and the Saints have tied it at 1 as we go to the bottom of the third.
For the first time this year, Joe O'Regan will pitch into the 7th inning. Issue is he's trailing the Riptide 3-0. And he's going to face the 9-1-2 in the Orange County lineup. Here in the top of the 7th. 3-0 Orange County. They got 2 in the first inning
on the 2-run single from Dennis Fitzpatrick, and then added on the RBI single from Travis Curry in the 6th. Pone is 0 for 2, squares to bunt, pulls it back, and takes ball 1.
A rare low-scoring CCL affair. Riptide have managed to scrape what they could against the Saints ace and Joe Regan, but the offense just hasn't been there to support him.
Breaking ball for strike 1 out of Joe. He's been this team's ace all year, and when I got a chance to catch up with him yesterday, he told me that despite him being the ace, some of his teammates josh him about not being able to pitch past the 6th inning. Well, here he is in what should be his final start of the year, pitching into the 7th for the first time this season.
We'll see what the Saints can do to maybe make it not his last start of the year, as he'd surely be the playoff starter if they got there, but there's a lot more to go until we can kind of think about that.
Swing and a miss, 2-2 on Nathaniel Pone, who again is one of 4 catchers on this Orange County Riptide roster. And getting the start behind the plate today in the 9-hole. On a 2-2, he swings and misses for strike 3. And O'Regan has struck out Pone for the 3rd time tonight.
Daniel Pone just hasn't seen anything that he could grab from Joe O'Regan, and can't get the bat on it. O'Regan showing his stuff against Pone.
Back to the top in Trajan Rogalski. This is the 4th time through the order that Joe O'Regan will attempt to conquer, and Rogalski 1 for 3. Struck out on the 1st, grounded a 2nd in the 3rd, and a single his last time up in the 5th.
Massive swing and a miss right there, and that's a nice curveball that Joe hasn't been able to get consistently at all today. It's been the fastball and cutter that's been his bread and butter all season and today.
Little bit inside, 1-1 on Rogalski, who extended his on-base streak to 9 games with the single back in the 5th inning. Jarrett Sable, the power hitter, waits on deck. Check swing, 1-2. That's about the 3rd or 4th time we've seen Trajan Rogalski check/half ugly swing at a Joe O'Regan fastball today.
Yeah, and that fastball, it's a great one from Joe. It's got great movement to it, but Rogalski's just kind of been swinging, really wanting to move the bat.
In there for strike 3. Back-to-back Ks to begin the 7th for Joe O'Regan, who's aging like a fine wine in this game. And there's 2 gone for Sable.
I mean, he talked about how he was saying that his teammates joshing him about not pitching to the 7th. I think he might have manifested that when he was talking with you, Max, and he's continuing what he's been doing. Pitch count is in a great place as well, so no reason he couldn't go farther as long as he gets through the rest of this inning unscathed.
Carved to left center field. That's down, a base hit. It's headed for the gap. Sable will hit the bag at first, heading towards second as Cheer fires it in. But Jarrett Sable will get there standing. A 2-out double for Sable to extend the 7th.
It's the 3rd hit of the day for Jarrett Sable, and another hard hit. That's what Jarrett Sable does best. What's going to bring to Minnesota next year.
So runner in scoring position now for Castro, who is 0 for 2. He got hit by a pitch on the first pitch he saw today, but has played sparkling defense at third base and has assisted in multiple double plays that the Riptide have turned today. A little bit low for ball 1. Again, Castro, a newer guy to this team. He's a guy who's gotten a shot over the last couple of weeks because the Riptide have already clinched the 1 seed in the CCL South playoffs, so getting some more guys into the game, into the lineup, and Castro is one of them. On a 1-0 here, he takes it inside, ball deflects off the glove of Nishiwa, but not nearly far enough for Sable to think about advancing to third. Will be Cheer, Flores, and Ryder coming up for the Saints in the home half of the 7th inning. Joe O'Regan keep it at a 3-run deficit. Tatum Marsh, who has been on all 3 times tonight, is on deck. Castro taken all the way. Fastball 3-1. Saints with the length from O'Regan should have a much easier time utilizing their bullpen over the last 3 games, which is here at Jackie Robinson Stadium against the Indians on Friday, as Breaker falls in there and the count is full. Then on the road at Orange County for the final time this season on Saturday. First pitch of that game is at 1 o'clock, and then the final game of the regular season here, Jackie Robinson Field for the final time this summer, 4:05 the first pitch against the Barons. Payoff. Ground ball up the middle. Immel to the backhand, and it's off and into center field. Sable coming around third, comes in to score. And the 2-out double from Jarrett Sable proves to lead to a costly error from Dylan Immel. And the Riptide extend their lead and now have a 4-0 advantage.
And Dylan Immel just does not need to rush that. Had his head up, wanted to throw it to one quickly, trying to pick it, but all you need to do there on a high chopper like that, just block it down. You know, put it in front of you. Even if you're not going to get the out at first, which he still might have been able to, don't let it get past you. That is the worst thing you can do. And fortunately for Immel, the error on him scores another run, and now Saints' season is dwindling more and more as Matt Stone finishes his meeting.
So the Saints' defense, which has been so good this year, the outfield defense with the additions of Brandon Wynn and Brody Cheer, and then Carson Panarisi in left field. The infield defense had been really good. They had a couple games about 3 weeks ago where they made some errors, but since then, it has been really clean defensively. A costly one here at second base from Dylan Immel, and it's 4-0 Orange County. Ball 1 on Tatum Marsh.
You talk about the Saints infield, but the error yesterday, that was the nail in the coffin, and maybe the error here, it could be the nail in the coffin on this Wednesday.
Ball kicks away from Nishiwa, but it hit Marsh, and he will trot down to first base as Castro moves to second base. Your heart just breaks for Joe O'Regan, who was a Dylan Immel play away from getting out of this inning, but now has surrendered 4 runs throughout his outing and still trouble here in the 7th. 2 on and 2 out for Fitzpatrick.
And something that we've kind of seen of Joe and kind of start his season. Has had the stuff all season long, but has gone unlucky. A couple of errors, which, you know, you're never going to put on the guys behind you that have been so good all season long, but errors are errors that can add up. It's just been a season of those margins and 1 or 2 plays where things can go wrong, and we'll talk about, we'll see how it gets for the rest of the game, but a season full of what ifs, I guess you could say.
Joe O'Regan get out of the 7th and keep it at a 4-run deficit. Facing Fitzpatrick here, who's got a 400 on-base percentage coming into this game. 2 for 3 in this one with a couple of singles. How about Tatum Marsh today? Came into this game 2 for his last 14, and he's been on all 4 times against one of the best starters in the entire CCL. Ground ball left side, foul, and it's 1-2. A couple of guys in Marsh and Fitzpatrick here who, despite these teams meeting 5 times this year, will be a 6th when they see each other Saturday, have really taken advantage of their first opportunities against the Saints offensively this year. 6 for 7, these 2 guys at the plate in terms of how many times they've been on. O'Regan once again a strike away. 1-2 pitch, carved foul. Zach Woodson, the right fielder, is on deck for Orange County. Castro at second, Marsh at first. A 1-2 from O'Regan is grounded to short. Flores, out number 3, and he gets the speedy Fitzpatrick by a couple of steps. But the Riptide add on a ball that deflects off the glove of Dylan Immel and into right center field. Gives the Riptide a 4-0 lead as we head to the home half of the 7th.